Why he loses his erection and even can't ejaculate. These are questions that are really hard, and if you're in a relationship or dating someone with these problems, they can raise a lot of self-doubts. So I got one of my favourite people back in. We got Dr. Marie Tudor for Mark Ask number 12. Welcome back.
Thank you very much.
Great
Mark.
to have you back again. If you haven't seen the other Mark Asks, you've missed out. Go and watch them. To give you a quick background on Marie, you've been a GP since the 1980s,
Yes.
25 years. You've been doing sex therapy with couples or singles as well since the 90s, so
Yes.
lots of experience. You're a fellow of the European Committee of Sexual Medicine.
Yes.
You're fully trained family therapist. You're the president of SAS, Society of Australian Sexologists in South Australia.
That's right.
So many good things that you've been doing, and she works with couples on both a single and a relationship basis through all sorts of sexual problems, whether it's sexual intimacy, whether it's stuff around how they identify themselves, basically all the sex things you work with couples through.
Yes.
So you are the person that I wanted to get in about this topic when it comes to a man who can't get an erection or isn't getting an erection, and later on we're going to talk a little bit about a man who can't ejaculate as well. How to handle that and what you should be thinking and what your next step should be. So welcome back.
Thank you very much, Mark.
So you were saying to me when we first chatted, I said, what is it that people are coming to you with?
Yes.
And you said, who are your audience, Mark? And I said, we've got a variety of audience. It can be women right through from that early 20s age to late 60s who watch this channel. I said, some of the most frequent viewers are in that sort of late 20s to mid to late 30s age group.
Yes.
And you said one of the things that those women come to me with is men, or was it men who come to me with performance issues, or women who come to me with men who can't perform? I think it was both you were saying.
Both. It can be both, yes.
Yeah, so do you want to elaborate on this? And you've been doing this, you've been a fully qualified doctor for a long time, and this surprised me. Because I'm imagining, couples where the sex isn't working, and you're saying, actually, it's individuals quite often who are coming to me.
Yes.
Yep.
Look, for your age group, a man that's under 40, or even under 50, particularly if he hasn't smoked. So smoking is a bad thing for erections.
Right. Okay. Interesting.
Yes, that's so actually smoking can actually make the blood vessels going to the penis actually contract in itself. Like a cigarette can actually reduce the diameter of the arteries going to the penis.
Oh wow! So it could actually affect the size of the penis long term.
It'll affect erectile functioning long term. So
Okay.
That's my little nag for the night.
There you go. The doctor says don't smoke for more reasons than your lung health.
You'll look after your erections. So just assuming that a man hasn't smoked for many years, that he's healthy, most erectile failures are because something's not right in that sexual experience. It might be that he's tired. It might be that it feels a bit, it's a new relationship. He's got to feel a bit more relaxed.
Yep. Okay.
The important thing
Pressure.
is for if in a heterosexual couple that the woman doesn't panic, because for young men it's very rare that there's some sort of long-term medical problem, and we've got to remember that men will have the occasional erectile failure anyway. Just because he's exhausted, or I see it a lot in tradies. They've been up in roofs, and if he then tries, they've been doing plumbers digging ditches all day.
Yeah.
Go home tired, try to have sex, and they might lose their erection. So the most important thing for partners is not to panic, because when there's that panic response, then the man panics, and then he's more likely to have an erectile problem later on.
It's almost like he can be trained the wrong way into it.
Well, he could just be. It just adds to performance pressure. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's really important not to freak out if the man loses his erection.
Yep.
And it's best to just think, there'll be a good reason for it, and let's have a bit of a sleep. Try again a bit later.
Okay. So not saying it's, not taking it on board and saying it's my fault he's not got an erection.
No. So a lot of women will say, look, he's losing his erections. He's obviously not attracted to me, and very rarely is that the case. It could be, it could be, but
So it's quite rare though.
well, look, the man has to actually really want to be with her.
Yeah.
So it is. It
Certainly
can
possible.
actually be possible that
Yep.
he's not into her, and so he's not going to get that aroused.
Mm-hmm.
But if a man says to the woman, "It's not you," she should believe it.
Got it. Okay.
Now, there are some conditions that men ought to make sure they don't have. One is sleep apnea, because even young men with sleep apnea can then have their sexual sleep apnea. Okay. You stop breathing overnight for a few seconds.
Right.
And you'll do that multiple times. So,
Okay.
typically, if a man wakes up really tired and he's been noted to sort of stop breathing for a few seconds during the night, or if he snores a lot and he wakes up tired, he should get checked for obstructive sleep apnea. So that's one really important medical thing I can say.
Okay.
And even women can have it. If they wake up tired, they should get checked for that. And then there are other...
So is that the main symptom, is if you notice that there's a bad snoring or just waking up tired every day?
Waking up tired, and particularly the stopping breathing overnight.
Okay.
So that's
How would you know that? Would you be watching him and you go, he's stopped breathing?
Yeah, that's right.
Right,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Is he going to breathe?
Oh, yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
But
Oh, God, he took
Right.
10 seconds to take another breath. He should have a
Wow.
sleep study.
Okay, wow. Yeah, right.
Look, one interesting thing is that erections aren't reliant on testosterone the way we think they are. So a man can have a really low testosterone level and have no problems with his erections.
Right.
So that's an interesting thing to think of too. But okay, just getting back to a man who loses his erection, don't panic. He needs to look. He could go off. I would say if it's happening multiple times, do get a check with a GP and then head off to someone like
Dr.
me,
Marie.
who knows about
booking process.
someone who knows about sexual functioning anyway.
Yeah.
But in this age group, it's rarely a medical thing. You do get medically checked if it's happening multiple times. But the most, in a nutshell, how do you get over it? You've got to have a situation sexually of no pressure or expectation, to just enjoy the process, enjoy the moment, and help the man to not be focusing on, I've got to keep my erection, I've got to keep my erection. No, he's got to get out of his head and into his body.
Yeah, I can remember one time I felt quite pressured, and we were in my bedroom and we hadn't known each other that long, and I said to her, look, I'd love for you to stay, and she sort of looked at me, and it was almost like she got up, walked over, turned the lights off, and then I was like, oh, okay, we're doing this. And then it's kind of like, oh, wow, that was quite forward of her. Shit, I'd better perform now. And I was like, okay, now I have performance anxiety. Things aren't working so well. So that pressure, it does, it can get to you.
It can get to anyone. And I'd suggest that the man does say, look, it doesn't make a big thing of it. It says, that he says, well, look, it's probably just that I'm a bit tired. What if you have a bit of a sleep?
Yeah.
But
relax and get comfortable.
But from the woman's point of view, if he's not having an erection, if his erection goes, she should just think, oh, there's a good reason for it. One thing I'd like to say is that women will say, and he's going down on me, and he loses his erection. But that's normal.
We're concentrating.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so
we're trying to do a good job.
Women need to know that an erection's going to sort of wax and wane over a session.
Yeah.
And so she shouldn't be judging where the erection's at. In fact, the best thing is to sort of not keep focusing on how strong the erection is. I mean, women don't have that sort of pressure themselves. What's a typical thing that you could look at is, is she lubricated or not? But women aren't pressured to sort of have that real obvious physical sign of arousal.
Yeah.
And if he's doing oral sex on her, he's concentrating, that erection can certainly wane, and that is normal, and that's not something to be freaking out about.
Yeah. Okay. So it will, and it's not like so it's not relative to his arousal levels, it's kind of more just relative to where he's at in the experience. Is that kind of what you're saying?
Well, it might be that he is concentrating, or, you know,
Yeah.
so some men might, you know, stay really hard because they're really into the oral sex, and but it doesn't mean that he's not into it if the erection's not there.
Okay.
And a lot of men report that they are very aroused, but the erection's not quite there the way they'd expect it.
Yeah.
So women need to.
I've definitely had that where I'm like, this is really hot, and yet I'm not as, say, erect as I have been in other situations. What's the discrepancy?
So men can feel very aroused, but the erection isn't where they'd expect it to be, and the most important thing is to just take every moment as a success. You know that what's happening now is okay. Let's not put pressure on us. Let's not have expectations.
Yeah.
If we wanted the erection to be stronger now, but it's not, let's do something else. Let's have a rest.
Enjoy ourselves. Enjoy the moment.
Yeah. Enjoy the moment. But to sort of put the pressure on the man to perform is really unfair. Like if we reverse the situation, we don't. Well, I suppose this is more about, say, coming too quickly. You know, women aren't judged for how quickly or how slowly they come.
No.
Well, unless they just take ages and never come. Then of course we've
talked about that too, about the
yeah,
orgasm thing.
Exactly. But I think it's just important to realise that men are under more pressure to perform. You know, to last long enough as well.
Yeah.
And then if they don't come, then don't freak out about that, because there might be a good reason for that as well.
Well, that was the other topic I wanted to touch on you with today, and I still have a couple of questions on the erection stuff.
Yes,
particularly with the ejaculation, though. You were saying, women, will come to me and the guy doesn't ejaculate, and they were either feeling insecure within themselves, or do you have men come to you as well who say, there's something wrong with me, I'm not ejaculating?
Certainly, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And that's it can be a bit more of it's more of a difficult problem to help than coming too quickly.
Okay.
But a very typical reason for not coming easily is that perhaps if they are masturbating with a very strong hand, particularly they're masturbating with porn with a strong hand, then when they come along to intercourse, which is perhaps a softer feel, although some men say the vagina is quite tight.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Different feel to your own
different
hand
feel.
anyway,
So the most useful thing is when they're masturbating that they are doing it with a very gentle hand, or they get a fleshlight. That was at Sexpo.
There was lots of those. I think there was thousands of them in that building. I've never seen so many of them.
There was a stand. So fleshlights are a good training tool for a man to try to control coming. Okay, so if a man's not coming, once again, don't panic. It's not about the woman.
Don't take it personally.
Don't take it personally. It's that just like if a woman can't come, unless that the man's got no technique at all, it's up to the woman's mind and body to help her create that orgasm, and the same with a man. If he's not coming, it's not the woman's fault. It's what's going on within his mind and body. And it's often because he's not quite getting to here's the orgasmic threshold. He's not quite reaching that orgasmic threshold, and therefore he just won't orgasm. But there's ways to bring it on by perhaps holding one's breath.
All right. Okay. So this is more so for men who want to improve their ejaculation. Look, masturbation exercises to help, with a more gentle hand is important, or some fleshlight training. There's testicles will come up close to the body when a man's about to ejaculate, so you can do what I call cupping of the testicles, sort of bring them up close to the body. It might bring on ejaculation. And of course, one thing that a lot of heterosexual men don't like to hear about, but some think it's wonderful, is any sort of anal or prostate stimulation. So any anal
gadgets that vibrate, that might
can increase that
can
stimulation.
That can help ejaculation.
So we spoke in an earlier interview about orgasm coaches and people that women can go to really help them get in their body. Do you know of a similar thing? Does that service exist for men, or are there men that help other men?
It does exist. I can't think of anyone. There were some people in Adelaide doing that for men and women in sort of the early 2000s. I don't know what happened to those. I'm out of touch with who's in Adelaide. But I bet they're in Byron Bay.
Yeah, they're probably all gone to Byron Bay. All of them in the world are just in Byron Bay.
I'd encourage men and women to do body work.
To get in their bodies and feel that.
What I'd encourage people not to do, though, is to analyse themselves. Don't analyse your partner. Don't think, he's not, his erection's poor, or he's not orgasming because something happened to him as a child, or he doesn't love me, or he's don't analyse your partner. Ask questions, but don't make assumptions about what's happening for them.
Okay, don't try to read into it too much.
No.
And it's interesting that it's been a theme on my channel. It's also been a theme of chatting to you, is that putting pressure on the result, and whether it's for a man who wants sex and then he puts pressure on having sex and the woman's like, no, I don't want to have sex with you.
Yes.
For a woman who wants a relationship and she puts all the pressure on the relationship.
Yes.
And talking to you, the theme has been take the pressure off, whether it's the pressure on her orgasm or his erection.
Yes.
As soon as you start to put pressure on the outcome, things start to go pear-shaped.
That's
as opposed to if you enjoy the process and the moment and the result, things tend to take care of themselves, people get relaxed, and you get the best outcomes.
That's a wonderful way of summing it up, Mark. No pressure, no expectations. Certainly don't panic.
Don't panic, which puts more pressure on. I have to go harder, and the guy's going, oh God, she's going harder now, and I need to perform more, and then... I think it's, it's reasonable for, a man may need to sort of call the shots and say, look, let's change position, let's do this or that, if he knows that a bit of a change in the situation will help him orgasm. Another very interesting thing for women to research is that orgasm and ejaculation are not the same thing in men. Two different things.
So some men will learn that they can orgasm and not ejaculate.
They're ejaculating,
So anyway, that's a whole other topic, isn't it?
That'd be a great topic to talk about. We'll have to get you back into chat about that. So if a woman's in this situation where a man's putting a lot of pressure on himself, and this no erection thing is happening fairly often, and she's going, well, I'm being in the moment, and he's kind of piling this pressure on himself.
Yes.
Is there anything, I guess, further she can do from her end other than obviously be present and reassure him it's no big deal?
That's really, really useful to be saying, look, look, just relax. I'm not. Let's focus on just enjoying each other. I mean, the best starting point is to do some lovemaking that's not dependent on an erection.
Okay.
Of course, some men say, well, look, of course I need an erection, but just for the moment, do everything else except need that erection.
So just enjoying that.
Yes, and then the erections will generally come along. There are men who don't absolutely need something like Viagra, but there are more younger men using Viagra or the likes of Viagra just to sort of give them a bit of confidence. And there's no reason why they shouldn't do that if they do need a bit of confidence in the dating situation.
Okay. I guess not wanting to rely on it would be important in those cases?
Well, particularly for young men. Young men who really don't have medical problems. If they just use it when they're in a dating situation when they don't know the woman, it probably gives them a little bit of confidence.
With it.
But I don't think it's going to cause any long-term harm to have tried Viagra.
Great.
Every now and again. And I know that's not going to help the women. What I say, if say a woman finds out that he did have Viagra in his top pocket, she shouldn't freak out about
be
that
offended
either.
by it. Okay.
No, because he's just trying
That
to
he
help.
needs it. Oh my God, he needs it for me.
He's trying to help take the pressure off himself.
Okay.
And so I'd say to women, don't jump to conclusions. Don't panic if you see Viagra or Cialis in his drawer.
Got it. Great advice. And so you talked about smoking. You talked about sleep apnea. Is there any other medical things that women should be on the watch for?
There are a few, particularly for libido. Any chronic illness will upset libido. There's one thing that GPs might not think of, and that's a condition called hemochromatosis. Basically, an iron overload condition.
Iron overload, right? Okay. So, which is the opposite to what many women have, isn't it?
That's right.
Yeah, which
and
is
the thing
anemia.
is, it's not so uncommon. It's I think about 1 in 400 or 500 people have an iron overload situation.
Right.
So say if someone, man or woman, have a drop off of libido, their iron studies ought to be checked.
Okay.
And thyroid, and there's another one called prolactin.
Thyroid,
if anyone's wondering what should be checked, they can email me. I can send them a list.
Yeah. Okay.
It's just that this iron overload.
We can put that email address in the description.
Yeah.
As well. Yeah.
The iron overload situation is really important to find out, because if you have iron overload, it goes to every part of your body: joints, liver, pancreas. Right. So as you grow older, you'll get diabetes, you'll get liver damage. So it's very important to find out.
To get checked for hemochromatosis. Is that on a standard blood test? Your GP runs a standard blood test?
It'd have to be a morning blood test, and it'd have to be iron studies would need to be requested.
Right.
The thyroid should always be checked.
Prolactin levels.
And anything that can cause chronic disease.
Antidepressants, how would they play?
Antidepressants. There's certainly the SSRI antidepressants make
serotonin.
it more. The ones that stop the serotonin, so they help raise serotonin levels. That will make it more difficult to orgasm for men and women.
Got it.
So men love it.
More difficult for erection as well, or not so much?
They can play a role in making erections a bit more difficult, but not as much as this whole thing of making it more difficult to come.
Okay.
So the men who are premature ejaculators, they love it.
Yep.
For women, it can be a bit frustrating because they find it more difficult to orgasm.
Got it.
Antipsychotics can also have problems.
Okay.
For people with that makes men that they have more trouble ejaculating. And may cause erectile problems too. There are quite a few drugs that will affect erections.
Okay, so check with your GP.
But look, in your age group that are watching your programs...
Yeah. Well, we do have all ages, remember.
Yeah. So say if there's someone that... if they're taking... Most blood pressure medications are fine.
Okay.
There's a diuretic... That's particularly bad, and it's lost. It's not in my mind right this moment. But basically, any drugs that you're going to be given, ask your doctor. Will this affect my sexual functioning?
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I suppose sort of a question to finish for women who may be listening in the 40, 50, 60 age group, and they come in and they've heard the advice. They say, look, don't put pressure on it. Don't. It's probably not you that has anything to do with it. You check for the sleep apnea and the standard signs, can't see any medications there. If they're still unsure, if they're kind of in that age group where they go, well, maybe it is something medical or maybe it's just pressure, should they be delicately suggesting he gets medically checked? And what, in your experience, is the best way to bring up that slightly awkward conversation?
Any man, particularly as he's heading into his 50s.
Yeah.
Look, actually, any man who's got consistent problems getting erections should be checked medically.
Okay.
And particularly as he's heading
into that
towards
age group.
50s plus.
Yeah.
And if they're in a good relationship, they should be able to be saying, look, do you think it might be a good idea just to run this by your doctor?
Yep.
And okay, so men will come along to me and bypass their doctor because they're so familiar with their doctor that they're too embarrassed to bring it up.
Okay.
But look, I think a great way when you're going to your GP is if it's hard to say, write a list and just hand it to your GP.
Here's sort of things I want to deal with.
I think it's good if if couples are at any age, but the ones in the 50s plus, look, if they could go along as a couple to the doctor, because look, if a man's more hesitant to speak, sometimes a woman can help with the communication.
Yep.
So it's definitely
a couple.
You must go and get medically checked when you're 50 plus, but also
along the way if you're having those consistent.
If you've got consistent erectile problems,
yeah. Great advice, Dr. Marie. Anything else you want to add on that topic? I think you've covered it wonderfully.
Well, for men who've got performance anxiety and women have their own versions of it. One tool that I use is hypnosis.
Right.
So that can be very useful. Yeah.
So you do that personally, do you?
Yeah, I do that. I trained in hypnosis. It's
just another qualification
diploma.
you have.
2-year diploma. But for anything that causes anxiety, performance anxiety is one of those.
It's
things.
a great tool.
It is a great tool, and it's related to meditation or relaxation.
Being in your body
absolutely being out of your mind, into your body. There's lots of apps, going to YouTube. There's all sorts of hypnosis downloads that you can find. Just Google hypnosis for performance anxiety. You'll come up with some free things to buy.
Great advice. So lots of resources there. Lots of advice. We've talked medical. We've talked about energy. We've talked about different people you can see and different practices you can take on. And I think most of all, not putting the pressure on the outcome and not having that end focus that so many of us put on it.
Yes.
Dr. Marie, you've been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
It's a pleasure
thank you so much
Yeah.
for coming and giving your time. She was brilliant. You came in on Mark Asks number 2 and number 7 as well. We talked about orgasms and how to have orgasms if you're struggling with them.
Yes.
We talked about porn in relationships as well. We've talked about some somewhat awkward issues today, and I think we've really brought light to them in a really cool way. So I appreciate you coming in and sharing your amazing wealth of knowledge. Thank you so much for joining me.
Could I just put in a plug?
Yeah.
I don't.
Absolutely.
I don't need to be, like I am a bit busy and don't need to, bring in the people.
Yeah.
They're coming to me. But there's an organisation called the Society of Australian Sexologists. At the moment, I'm the chair for South Australia. But every state has a branch. And you could, just Google Society of Sexologists, Australia. There's a website there, and there's information there about. You could email the state chair and find out. Like if someone emailed me, I could tell them who's available in Adelaide. I know who deals with what problems, and I'd be delighted to suggest my colleagues.
Got it. So you're saying it was the Australian Society of Sexologists.
Yeah, it's sort of SAS, so it's Society of Australian Sexologists.
So check that out. If you're having any questions around this topic, make sure you look at your local state and see who's the head there, and people like Dr. Marie will be able to give you amazing advice. We'll have to get Dr. Marie in again at some point. You've been so brilliant.
Anytime you're in Adelaide, Mark.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you for coming in.
Come to Queensland.
Come visit. Matt just came from the beach. He's still wearing his beach clothes. Look at him back there.
Yeah, well, it's a pleasure talking with you, Mark.
Thank you.
All the best for your viewers. I wish them well.
You've given some incredibly valuable content to them. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed, make sure you subscribe and hit the little bell. We'll have Dr. Marie in for more questions as well and more sessions. So make sure you post your question below. I'm sure I can even email her and we could get into it. Thanks again for watching. Hit the like button as well, and we'll see you next time.
You're not